Yo, yo, back. We back. Hit that like button, man. Hit the like button. I don't believe anything Wack says. You know, throw that out there first and foremost. And Wack 100 push fake paperwork, or not even that. Yo, what Wack 100 does. I told y'all he has an agenda. You know, first and foremost, Wack 100 has an agenda, and his agenda is he want to expose so-called street guys, right? And he want to hang with rats. That's his role. That's his role. That's his role on the internet. That's what he's here to do. You know what I mean? Those street guys, but hang with rats. And here go above and beyond to achieve this goal. You feel me? Even lie and push fake paperwork. And what is he takes advantage of the fact that most people if you never really been in trouble, never had no real serious criminal case, chances are you're not gonna understand paperwork. So you'll see something like what Wack 100 did in 42 Dugg situation, where it say that 42 Dugg wanted to get a statement suppressed. The average civilian would look at that and say, yo, he telling. Major, what's up, baby? Would look at that and say, yo, 42 Dugg telling. Yo, but it's like, yo, for one, most of the times where a person is trying to get a statement suppressed, what's up, Vic? They're getting it suppressed to protect themselves from self-incrimination. Yo, people don't like, people don't normally get statements suppressed on other people. Like, your lawyer's not going to go to court. Say a person made a statement on somebody else, right? Your lawyer's not going to go to court to try to get that statement suppressed, because you made a statement implicating, it has nothing, it's not hurting my client, it's hurting this person. You understand what I'm saying? 42 Dugg must made statements involving his situation. I got hit. What did 42 Dugg go to jail for? Hold on. Why did 42 Dugg go to federal prison?
42 Dugg, whose real name is Dion Hayes, went to federal prison because of being a felon in possession of a firearm. He was caught on camera shooting a gun, which was illegal due to a prior felony. He was sentenced to 6 months in a federal prison camp.
So more than likely, he probably went that bitch and say, yeah, that was me shooting the gun. And they try to get it suppressed. Yeah, but he didn't snitch on nobody. Yeah, man, what's up, JB? He didn't know, chat room. There you go. What's bad? He didn't tell on nobody. Yo, he didn't have any co-defendants. Man, suit your sister having a baby, man. He didn't have any co-defendants. Who? Let's see. Did 42 Dugg have a co-defendant on his federal case? Based on available court documents and news reports, 42 Dugg, aka Dion Hayes, did not have a co-defendant on his specific federal case regarding his failure to report to prison, but he was accompanied by two other people during the incident. All right, so he did. So let's check that out. Incident at a shooting range. Prosecutors succeeded in keeping the incarcerated. Like my thing is, what for that case, right? What could he have said to implicate somebody else? Or what he was shooting the gun to? Like, what could he have said, man? Yeah, he the feds. Like, it's really nothing he could have said to fuck anybody else over. And if he did, that's not something that his lawyer is gonna want to get suppressed. You know what I mean? Now, if he wanted to get it, know what would have been a smoking gun? If he wanted to get the hearing sealed. Then it'd be like, oh, Doug, what you say? But him getting the statement suppressed is not an indication of him telling anything. So I didn't even read this paperwork. Let me read what the fuck this shit say. Alright. Comes now defendant Dion Hayes, buying through his attorney of record, and moved to suppress all evidence seized as a result of the search of his cell phone that was seized from his person at the time of his arrest on March. God damn, what was that, a plane? It's loud as a motherfucker. Seized. Alright, let's start over. Comes now the defendant, Dion Hayes, buying through his attorney of record, and moved to suppress all evidence seized as a result of the search of his cell phone that was seized from his person at the time of their arrest. So more than likely they was video recording it too. Additionally, Mercedes moved to suppress any and all statements made by him to federal agents in Detroit following his arrest in this matter. This motion is based on this notice in motion, all previously filed motions, the following memorandum of points and authorities. The 4th and 5th Amendments of the United States Constitution, all other applicable constitutional, statutory, and case authority, and such evidence and arguments as may be presented at a hearing of this motion. That's it. Like, well, come on now. What'd he say, y'all? That wasn't me on camera? Or that was me on camera? Like, what could he have said? What could he have said? If he went in there and tried to tell on a separate case, that's not something that his lawyer is gonna want to get suppressed for his current case. Does that make sense for people? If he went in that bitch and said, look, man, I'm trying to cut a deal. Look, I know somebody selling guns. I know this, I know that. That's not something that his lawyer's gonna want to suppress for this case. Because if he told them that has no burns on this case. You understand what I'm saying? There's no him telling the police that somebody else sells guns will not have any burns on this case as far as a suppression hearing. Wack 100 is reaching. Wack 100, along with others, are taking advantage of the ignorance of law on the internet. And they know once people see certain things that don't know, and they don't know how to distinguish it or understand it, they're going to just straight go to, oh, he telling. But that's fucked up for Wack 100 to do that when he ain't even all the way right. You know what I mean? He still got skeletons in his closet that he need to expose. How the fuck you keep trying to expose niggas and you hanging with federal agents? Like, nigga, you alright? You in Big U paperwork? You talk to the federal government about Big U. Talk to the federal government about Jay Prince. Man, get this nigga off. Man, niggas is crazy. I wouldn't even be sharing, yo. Weird ass nigga. Hit that like button, man. Niggas weird. So Blueface ain't getting paid for his fight either, y'all. Y'all know that? Y'all hear Adin Ross? This is how when you do business with dirty people, man.
Contractual obligation that he didn't follow, so he breached. He was supposed to wear a rain badge patch. There's actual contractual obligation that he didn't follow, so he breached. He was supposed to wear a rain badge patch on his shorts. He didn't, and he's gonna have to pay $100,000 for that. Breach another confidential, like he can't speak about anything, money, how much he got paid or whatnot. And we asked him to retract his statements, and he didn't. We gave him some time. We didn't want to do it. Now we're gonna do it. So, yeah, we tried. We tried working with him and Wack, and they weren't really fucking with it, and they didn't want to work with us. So, sucks. But yeah, we tried. I literally wanted to pay him multiple times. You could ask Ack. Every fighter got paid after brand risk. Every fighter. Everybody's paid except him. Why? Because you can't go around saying that shit's rigged, and you can't not wear a rainback patch on your shorts when you contractually sign an obligation. And yeah, you can't talk about how much you're paying or being paid. So yeah, it sucks because he is probably one of the worst people to ever work with when it comes to business ever.
Hey, yeah,
let me tell y'all what happened. Story time.
So Wack 100 spoke about it.
It's something.
Yo, 9:15, y'all tune in. I'm sorry I had to come to this, but 100 Show YouTube channel, the truth about Adin Ross in the boxing match, right? And his sexual advances at people. Hate to say it, but he tried his bully tactics, and I guess he thought we was gonna go street, and we kept it corporate. Adin, nothing in the contract supports what you're talking about. We'll play the long game, but I want you to tell the people on how you tried to use your Jewish ties for whatever reason, as if I had a problem with you being Jewish, and how you continue to make sexual advances at me.
Hey,
just the other day.
Hey, yo, get the fuck out of here. Hey, these niggas is crazy. Yo, you said he made sexual advances. That's why he punched him in his mouth there, man. Hey, you supposed to be this big gangster, all power root blood. You got a Jewish white boy make sexual advances to you? Yo said he made sexual advances to him, yo. That's what he do, y'all. You gotta elaborate on that. I'm intrigued to know. You know what I mean? Because I think Charles White said the same thing. Like, so what the fuck going on over there, man? What's up with you niggas, man? What, he rubbed on your leg or something? Like, what'd he do? Yeah, I'm so glad I'm a man of integrity, man. Straight up and down, yo. I'm not putting up with none of that fake fucking, none of that bullshit. And that's why I said, y'all, they're real strategic about these guys that they pick. You know, they know how to get them. I'm telling you, they know how to pick them, man. Because ain't no just anybody gonna allow a man, any man, a man of power, a man of influence, a man with nothing, make sexual advances to them without it being addressed right then and there on the spot. It ain't happening.
After I asked you time and time again, can you please respect that I'm a straight man? You know we got the content. Yeah, we got the content.
Get the fuck out of here. You say, hey, yo, as a grown man, right? If another man makes sexual advances to you repeatedly, is that's what you gonna say to him? Yo, look, respect, you know, back up, respect that. I'm a straight man. You know, that's strike one. You feel me? You do it again, you could be like, I told you last time, man. You know, keep your distance. I'm straight. I don't go that way. You know, at what point does it get physical? You know, at what point does it get to a point where it's like, all right, bro, like I done told you once, twice. What, it got to be 10 times? Like, obviously, if this actually happened, you know, obviously he didn't give a fuck what you told him. That man, he fuck around was gonna take it eventually. These niggas is weirdos. I can't stand them. Weirdos. Hold up, man. I knew my chat froze. Now they back freezing my chat. What's up? What's up? What's up? No, hell no. Man, what the fuck, Charlene? Man, Siobhan been asking about you. Man, where the hell you been at, man? He said he's trying to get some hush buddy. What's up, Randy? JB? He said he's victim now. Yeah, we go. Yeah, we go. Yo, I ain't gonna lie though. That's crazy, yo.
9:15.
Now he released some text messages. Maybe he did it in the text. Wack 100 exposes messages with Adin Ross allegedly asking for a kiss to make things right. Hey, yo, fuck no, yo. Look, y'all can look at this shit yourself. Hold on. This is crazy. Mm. Yeah, this is crazy, y'all. Alrighty. Yeah, this is crazy, y'all. Hey, Joe sent him a picture of himself bent over. I would never let no man play with me like this, right? Obviously, yo, you might obviously Wack, you know, obviously Wack must have let him on, man. I believe I believe Wack was sending mixed signals. That's what the fuck happened, yo. For Adin Ross, you know, to allegedly send that to Wack, I think Wack was leading him on. You know, maybe he blew him a kiss or something. I don't know. Maybe, you know, maybe he hugged him a little too hard. Like, who the fuck knows? Yo, this shit crazy. Yo, I'm just starting over. Yo, y'all gotta read it. Yo, it's going fast. That's why I ain't read it. Hold on. So basically, A. Ross accused him of being anti-Semitic, yo, for denying his sexual advances. Hey, yo, all right, so that's anti-Semitic now, yo. So if a Jewish person makes sexual advances to you, yo, you deny it, yo, you are now anti-Semitic. Based off, if this is true, based off of A. Ross rationale, yo, that's what that means. I think Wack led him on. I blame Wack for this. I blame Wack 100 for this, y'all. Obviously, you let him on, man. I blame Wack for that shit. That's Wack fault. Said that man mixed signals, man. Said that man mixed signals. Trump back speaking.
The next set of leaders are all gone. And the next...
Your Trump is like a fucking character off of The Simpsons or something, yo. This is motherfucking crazy.
Leaders are all gone. The next set of leaders are all gone. And the next set of leaders are mostly gone. And now nobody wants to be a leader over there anymore. We're having a hard time. We want to talk to them, and there's nobody to talk to. We have nobody to talk to. And you know what? We like it that way. Their leaders are all gone. The next set of leaders...
Yo, what's going on in America right now is disgusting, y'all. For real.
Leaders are all gone.
We live in an occupied country. And yo, you can't blame this on Trump, because this would have been done no matter who was in office. This is going to be done no matter who was in office, yo, because of shit like this. Let me check y'all man out. Hold up. Check y'all man Stephen A out. Fuck that video up. These motherfuckers, boy. Check out y'all man Stephen. Hold on.
I don't blame. So, and to the Jewish community out there, let me be very, very clear. I don't blame them if they're in an uproar over Joe Kent, because what you're doing is basically saying that Israel instigated this war. Well, Benjamin Netanyahu is on the record saying no. Other Israelis and other members of the Jewish community are saying no. And a statement like that by Joe Kent could easily be used as an excuse for individuals out there to engage in anti-Semitism, which is fomented and grown, and we all need to speak out against that.
Yo, this shit is crazy, yo. These motherfuckers, boy. Hey, man. I think now we truly see how controlled, you know, these people are. Like, yeah, food high is a bitch right now. I just put some gas in my truck. Yo, but I think we realize now, yo, everybody's controlled, yo. Like, yo, what is Stephen A. Smith talking about? So you got the director of counter terrorism decide to speak out. This is his job. Counter-terrorism. He was the head of it. Man, fuck no. He ain't played shit. He averaged 1 point a game or something. Was the head of it. Decided to speak out and basically say, yo, that we was forced into this war by Israel. This is an American citizen that's saying this. Stephen A. Smith gets on his platform and speak about. Just listen to it, man. I ain't gonna. I can just listen to it. Cause this shit is crazy, y'all. Like, we living in a wild time right now, man. Check them out again.
The Jewish community out there, let me be very, very clear. I don't blame them if they're in an uproar over Joe Kent, because what you're doing is basically saying that Israel instigated this war. Well, Benjamin Netanyahu is on the record saying no. Other Israelis and other members of the Jewish community are saying no. And a statement like that by Joe Kent could easily be used as an excuse for individuals out there to engage in anti-Semitism, which is fomented and grown, and we all need to speak out against that. Because there's plenty of of Jews that don't agree with Benjamin Netanyahu. There's plenty of Jewish individuals that don't agree with what's going on right now with the United States and Israel collaborating with one another.
So, yo, are they anti-Semitic? Yo, for the Jews that don't agree, I need to talk. Are they anti-Semitic too? Now, have you ever heard that term defined? I'm gonna go too far off the rails. Just listen to Stephen A. Smith, man.
Against Iran in this fashion. So we don't need to sit there and engage in condemnation towards a community of people. And nobody is implying otherwise. So I'm not down for what Joe Kent did, but it is worth noting that if you are Donald Trump, and the fact that happened on your watch, that's the latest indication that things are falling apart by the seams. Here's another one of my polls. And guys, get that echo out of my ear, please. I don't like hearing myself twice. Here's the deal. Another poll I personally did on X. Again, over 15,000 responses. I asked the question, did the U.S. enter this war on its own terms or because of allies? On my X platform, Stephen A. Smith, 75% said the war is being influenced by Israel. 100% U.S. decision, only 13% feel that way. A strategic necessity, only 11% feel that way. Global pressure, only 1% feel that way. So most people think this is about Israel, which fed into what Joe Kent said. Either way you slice it,
but you see what he doing? Yo, people were saying that before Joe Kent spoke any words. Like, yo, like look at the narrative that they pushing. He's pushing the false narrative, basically saying that since Joe Kent spoke out on fuck that man name, y'all know the dude. Since Joe Kent spoke out on your platform, now everybody opinion on the war shifted to Israel is the culprit. Yo, but I think everybody been saying that. I think it's obvious. I think nobody needs to say nothing, and you can just pay attention and just watch what's going on, and you can come to that determination. That shit ain't got nothing to do with no goddamn Joe Kent. Joe Kent ain't say nothing that people ain't already know or was already speculating to at all. Yeah, y'all gotta hear this though. I gotta find it. Dang, y'all keep pushing my fucking brother. Hey, what the fuck that guy name is, man? Cause he had somebody on his platform. What the fuck is your name? Oh, my shit pop up right there.
So, to the Jewish community out there,
shit, gas high as a bitch, right? Well, gas always is high in PA, but that shit then got higher. Tucker Carlson. I think I was trying to show this shit the other day. I think this is right here.
So to recap,
Oh, y'all gotta watch this shit.
we gave away over $1 million.
There's an interesting dynamic
For a month. Huckabee's
He said after reparations.
They voted in this last election and on the basis, in part, of the promise no more wars.
Wait a second.
80%
Wait a second. What? I mean, in part, maybe some people did. But again, we know how Donald Trump. I'm Christian. They never go to church.
All right.
They never.
Man, we was
pray.
watching this shit
They
the other
never read
day.
their Bible. They don't tithe.
But they're not
For real?
entitled to citizenship on the basis of that.
Well,
They're
but
not
I'm saying
entitled
that
to.
they still call themselves Christians.
Nah, I ain't
even
5
though
yet.
They
It's like
identify
4
in
something.
that
Here's,
way.
here's
Like
the difference.
450.
You're saying that people
Matter of fact,
who
diesel is
have
$5.
this identification have a deed to a huge chunk of land on the Mediterranean. Okay, so there's, it's a right. You keep telling me it's a right, and so it's totally fair to say if you come to my house and say I've got the title to your house, I get to ask, may I see it? Where'd you get it? And that's exactly what happened here. People from Europe, Eastern Europe, came here, in a lot of cases atheists, and kicked out a lot of people who lived here.
Land.
Well, but
They did not just throw people out.
they bought a lot of land. There's no question about that.
They did buy a lot of land.
But they
The
also
whole
in
idea of Zionist
1948
movement
kicked out a lot of people.
in
And
the war.
it was a war. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
want to
Okay.
relitigate the history. I'm just saying it's a fact.
Okay.
Including a lot of Christians. A lot of Christians wound up fleeing, and they lost their homes, and they've never been allowed back. And all of this was justified on the basis of this identity that is the ticket to the right that you keep
Hold on,
referring
y'all.
to. So my
It's
question.
something I want to find, yo. When the dude was trying to define what anti-Semitism was. I'm going to find it. Hold on. Like, it basically doesn't have a definition, man. They don't have a definition for it. I sent that shit to my fucking homeboy.
I don't understand, and you're very discouraged in the United States from asking this question for some reason. It's a foundational question. But I just want to get to the point that forms the basis of this whole conversation, which is who has a right to the land?
Excuse me, Deuteronomy 28, verse 6. The house.
Abram's descendants are the ones who have the right to have this land, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we do genetic testing on everybody?
No, it's
in the
not, yo. It's not what it is, babyface. It's subjective, yo. I mean, no, it doesn't have a definition, yo. It can be anything. Yeah, yo, it is a lot broader than that. It's not, yo. It ain't that simple. It ain't that. It can be anything, yo. Whatever, it can be anything. I'm trying to find it, but I can't find it.
And find.
I thought they was gonna end my live. Yeah, it's definitely more broader than that, bro. It could be anything. It could be anything. I'm trying to find it. I know I sent it to my homeboy. Hold on.
The human genome, we can do that. Why don't we do that? Would you be against doing that?
I have no idea what that would prove. I mean, maybe it would be.
What do you mean? It would prove who Abram's descendants are and who has a. Abram's descendants are the ones who have the right to have this land, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we do genetic testing on everybody in the land and find out who Abram's descendants are? It's really simple. We've cracked the human genome. We can do that. Why don't we do that? Would you be against doing that?
I have no idea what that would prove. I mean, maybe it would be.
What do you mean? It would prove who Abram's descendants are and who has a right to live here and who doesn't, according to the theology that you yourself just explained. And so I'm very confused as to why we don't do that. If you believe the theology that you've just explained to me,
Would we do that all over the world?
well,
And everybody.
this is the
would
only
would
country in the
Brits-
world that you've said has this covenant with God, that this people have a moral and legal right to the land.
But there are people who may not have bloodlines, but who have converted to Judaism. Are they going to be able to live here? Are you going to kick them out?
By your standards, they can't live here because you just told me that they have a right to live here because God gave them the land because they're the descendants of Abram.
They're the descendants of Abraham. But if they're the spiritual descendants of Abraham and they've now decided that they're converting to Judaism, then do they have a right to live in Israel?
What the fuck you? Hey, babe, what are you talking about, bro? It doesn't have a definition. It could be anything. It could be any disagreement. If you disagree with the Israeli government, you're called anti-Semitic, bro. What are you talking about? It's way broader than what you said. It could be anything. Whatever. It could be subjective. It can change. I'm trying to find a video. This is not the video. Let me find a video, yo, when the guy explained it.
Although it is being used.
Can't remember when I seen it. Yeah, but it's way bigger than, it's way more broader than what you just said.
That Israel was somehow implicated in 9/11. It was in their interest for that to happen
On an existential level for decades.
that Israel was somehow implicated in 9/11. It was in their interests for that to happen because then it would lead to rage against all.
It's about what happened on 9/11.
Okay.
Again, they're the Jewish people, and they tried extremely hard to do that.
12 million were killed?
The Nazis killed 12 million people in World War II. 6 million were killed in 6 million were killed in the Holocaust. Or do you not believe that either?
Okay. I mean, Jews have killed far more. Gender clinic was open. Look, I have an issue with that term. I mean, I think the real Semites are the Palestinians. I mean, the DNA tests that they've done on the Israelis that are living over there, they're Eastern European Ashkenazi Jews. I don't even think they're actual Semites. They don't have ancient.
That's not it. I can't fucking find it, yo. I know it was Tucker Carlson. He had somebody on his platform. And he asked me, I think he was talking to like a rabbi or something. Let me go to Tucker Carlson's platform. I ain't watched a whole lot of his videos. I think it was Mike Huckabee, man. Yeah, because that's the only one I seen.
So my question is very simple. So what
I
percent?
can't fucking find it. I'll be all day looking for that shit. Just know it's there. What's up, kid? Yeah, I don't agree with everything that nobody does, but I just be tripping off of what's going on right now in the world. Yeah, he did. I ain't used to like him either. But he's starting to grow on me. Now I still don't agree with his stances on black people, But it's like he done moved away from that. Him and Candace Owens, and started focusing on what's going on in the political realm. Actually, coming after some of the same people that helped, elevate them. You know what I mean? But yeah, I wish I could find it, yo, because y'all gotta see that shit, man. Like, yo tried to explain that shit. I'm just like, yo, what? Like, how the fuck can you say that? Like, that could be anything, man. It could be anything, man. And that's what and for the longest time they've been using that every chance they get. You know, you say anything they don't like, do anything wrong, that's their go-to. But it seems as though that shit is you know, the effect that it had on the people is not as strong as it used to be, man. Because you should better call out anybody for moving wild. You know what I mean? Like, nobody should be exempt from being called out for moving a certain kind of way. And it's not an indictment on everybody. You know what I mean? It's not nobody. It's not what they try to make it seem. And it's getting bad, man. And it's getting bad because more and more people starting to wake up to it. And I don't know how much longer they're gonna have to even, you know, to be able to do the things that they're doing and getting away with it, yo. Because a lot of people is not feeling that shit. He said a lot of things. He it was a lot of stereotypical things. A lot of stereotypical, you know, just like Candace Owens. You know, talk about the black crime rate and shit like that. You know, misleading stereotypical data that need further explanation. That's really all it is. You know, you can't speak on certain elements of the black community and not start from the beginning. You know, if you're going to talk about crime, you got to talk about how it got there, you know, because crime is always a major issue in black communities. Even in the ghettos, you know, crime was created through economic struggles. But he don't ever talk about that. You know, he just talk about the crime, the violence, and, you know, shit like that. And the lack of education in schools. And, you know, but he never discussed how these things happen. I mean, people didn't just wake up one day and say, you know what, we ready to start murdering. You know, people didn't just wake up one day and say, you know what, man, fuck them kids. We ain't taking care of them kids. People didn't just wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm tired of going to school. Fuck that shit. They ain't teaching us nothing anyway. No, that shit was way more in depth and detailed than that. You know what I mean? I already talked about it. That's in the title. 42 Dugg didn't have any co-defendants, man. 42 Dugg self-incriminated. He said something that incriminated himself, and the lawyer was trying to get it stricken. You know, that's all it was. It wasn't nothing because in that sense, if he told on somebody else's lawyer, is not going to be trying to get the statement. It's the word used. Get the statement tossed. Only statements his lawyer is going to be concerned about is statements written or said against other people.
You gave our number to the school? A fucking mother. A mother did it. That's the price you pay for me.
But Wack 100 takes advantage of people not knowing the law, and he just put out paperwork, and you know, and people just run with it. But in that situation, he not putting out no statement. Any statement he made was a statement against self-incrimination. That's it. Yeah, he made a statement. He was trying to get that shit suppressed. That's all. That's all. It's not snitching. He didn't have any co-defendants. He was the felon that was in possession of a firearm at the gun range. Like, Wack act like he went to jail for some real street shit. Like, he went to jail basically on the same type of time as Kodak Black. You know, being stupid. You feel me? It wasn't nobody else to implicate in that. Nobody else got in trouble for that. It may have been other people at the gun range that he was with, but what could he have said? Oh, they was with me too? Like, and if he did say that, is that something that you want to get, you know, is that a statement that you want to get tossed out? Like, were they felons? I don't think nobody else went to jail. Nah, shit don't make sense, bro. He probably told them. They probably showed him the video camera. He said, yeah, that is me. And now it's gonna be hard for him to beat the case. So his lawyer trying to get that statement tossed. That's it. And they really a whole lot to look into that, man. It's obvious to me what actually happened. He probably said that's my gun, or yeah, that is me on camera, or that wasn't me on camera. He could have said it wasn't me. I mean, he could have said anything, but he didn't have any co-defendants to implicate nobody else. And it's not a situation where he told on a separate case, because why would the lawyer want that dismissed? That doesn't make sense. About fucking time, god damn. Been sitting this bitch all day. All right, I'm ready to get back to work. $11. That's 11 miles. Okay. 11 miles to me. All right, y'all. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's never there keeping you new.